In February 1959, 9 young hikers set out across the frozen Ural Mountains. They laughed, sang, and believed nothing could harm them in that endless white wilderness. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, was experienced and confident. He promised they'd reach Ural Mountain in just a few days. No matter how harsh the weather, they were students, engineers, dreamers, seeking adventure, not death. None imagined their names would be carved into the world's strangest mystery. They built a tent on the slope of Kolatsieko, the mountain of the dead, named by the native Mansi people long before. The wind howled like a living creature that night. Snow fell thick, but their laughter still echoed faintly through the white. Somewhere in the early hours, something went terribly wrong. The tent was slashed open from the inside, desperate hands clawing for escape. Tracks led away, barefoot in the snow, scattered in chaos. Some ran, some crawled, or vanished into the freezing dark. Search teams found the first 2 bodies near the tree line, barefoot, dressed only in underwear. Their hands were burned black from trying to keep a fire alive. Nearby lay the remnants of a pine tree, its branches broken high above. As if someone climbed to flee or scream for help. 3 more bodies were found between the tent and the forest, frozen mid-crawl, faces twisted in fear the snow could not bury. The final 4 took months to find, buried deep in the ravine. Their injuries defied logic, crushed skulls, broken ribs, yet no external wounds. One woman was missing her tongue, another's eyes were gone. The snow beneath them glowed faintly, laced with traces of radiation. The official report blamed an unknown compelling force. No further explanation was given, only silence and sealed archives. Rescuers said the bodies looked terrified, as if they had seen something beyond human comprehension. Their tent still stood half buried inside. Journals and cameras captured laughter the last normal hours before something unimaginable arrived. Photographs showed strange orange lights in the distance, hovering above the ridge. The group had written about seeing them days earlier. Some blamed the military secret weapons testing gone wrong. Others whispered of ancient spirits guarding the mountain. Locals claimed the sky glowed that night, and strange humming filled the air. Dogs refused to approach the campsite for weeks. Investigators noted radiation on their clothes, but no source was ever identified. The Geiger counter clicked steadily beside the frozen bodies. The hikers' footprints told no story of panic, neat steps leading calmly into death, as if guided by unseen will. The autopsies deepened the horror. Bones shattered from within, skulls collapsed inward, but the skin remained almost untouched. Scientists said such injuries required immense pressure, more than any avalanche or fall could create, but there were no avalanche signs, no displaced snow, no roaring collapse, just silence and a mystery that deepened with every discovery. Some rescuers reported their compasses spinning wildly near the tent, as if magnetism itself had been disturbed that night. Military helicopters hovered nearby, collecting samples, then vanished. None of their reports were ever made public. Rumors spread of secret rocket tests. Locals saw glowing spheres streaking through the clouds in the days before the tragedy. The surviving journals ended abruptly. Cheerful sketches, songs, then a final line, "We now know snowmen exist." That last cryptic entry fueled endless theories, creatures, radiation, madness, or something never meant to be seen. The Mansi people said the mountain was cursed. They warned the hikers not to camp on sacred ground. The warning went unheeded. When the rescuers arrived, even they felt watched. The wind whispered names that weren't theirs. One rescuer's hair turned gray overnight. He said he dreamt of 9 figures standing in a circle, eyes glowing pale blue. Animals avoided the sight for decades. Birds flew around it, never over it, as though the air itself carried memory. Soviet officials closed the case quickly, sealing the files and forbidding discussion, but whispers persisted in every corner of Russia. Igor Dyatlov's watch stopped at 5:31 a.m., the same time several others' watches froze, as if time itself halted in terror. Their tent's inner wall bore deep knife slashes from within. They had cut their way out instead of using the door. No one knew why they fled into sub-zero temperatures without boots or coats. It was as if survival instincts were erased. Investigators found traces of radioactivity on their clothing. Even the snow glowed faintly under ultraviolet light. One man's skin turned dark orange, almost metallic. Another's hands appeared burned without any heat source nearby. The bodies' positions seemed deliberate, like they had arranged themselves facing something no one else could see. The local police refused to camp near the pass again. They called it the place where the world breathes wrong. Witnesses in nearby towns reported orange fireballs crossing the sky that same night. Silent, slow, unnatural. Military aircraft were grounded the next morning without explanation. A classified airspace lockdown followed. The official documents vanished for years. When they resurfaced, entire pages were missing, replaced with blank, scorched paper. Some rescuers confessed decades later that they found metal fragments scattered around small, unmarked, strangely warm in the snow. When tested, the fragments contained alloys unknown to Soviet science of that era. The samples disappeared soon after. Locals began to call the mountain Nine Souls Hill. They left offerings of bread and candles each February. A few brave explorers returned in later years. Their compasses spun, and their cameras malfunctioned exactly where the tent once stood. Some claimed to hear screams echoing through the snow, repeating endlessly, fading only when dawn touched the ridge. A hiker in the 1990s reported seeing 9 glowing silhouettes, walking single file through the mist, then fading like smoke. Forensic experts re-examined the case in 2019. They blamed a slab avalanche, but few believed such a simple answer. The terrain showed no signs of snow movement, and the injuries still defied logic. It felt like a convenient closure. Radiation readings near the site remain slightly elevated even today, though no source has ever been found. Tourists who visit report nightmares afterward of suffocating snow and unseen eyes watching from the fog. One explorer claimed to wake to whispers in Russian, "You shouldn't have come." No one else heard them. Strange lights still appear in the sky each February. Faint orbs drifting above the mountain, then vanishing. Modern hikers leave gifts at the memorial cross, gloves, photographs, sometimes even shoes for the ones who ran barefoot. Every compass at the site points slightly north of true north, as if pulled by an invisible force beneath the snow. Local shamans say the spirits there are restless, 9 souls trapped between worlds, still trying to finish their journey. Scientists remain divided. Avalanche, experiment, alien contact. None can explain the missing tongue or radioactive snow. Each year, wind sweeps away the memorial flowers overnight, no matter how tightly they're pinned to the ground. Hikers say the air feels heavier there. The silence absolute, a silence that seems to listen back. At dusk, shadows stretch unnaturally long across the snow, reaching toward where the tent once stood. Some claim to hear faint music, like a radio signal cutting through static, growing louder near the ravine. One team brought a drone. Its footage showed footprints appearing ahead of them as if someone invisible walked first. The footage was later corrupted, replaced by white noise and a single frame. 9 figures standing beneath a burning sky. Thermal scanners register moving heat signatures at night, though no bodies or animals are ever found. Locals refuse to speak the hikers' names aloud after dark. They believe doing so invites the mountain's gaze. Weather instruments in the area fail every February 1st, as if the date itself corrupts the airwaves. Investigators once tried placing cameras overnight. By morning, the lenses were cracked from inside out. Some believe the hikers stumbled upon a secret test, perhaps sound weapons or radiation fields, something not meant for human eyes. Others think they crossed into another reality, a thin place where dimensions collided and nature broke its own laws. Even today, scientists can't agree on what unknown compelling force truly means, only that it was real. Those who visit speak of nausea, disorientation, and a sense of being watched from beneath the snow. The mountain's name, Kolatsiakol, translates to dead mountain. But perhaps it's not the mountain that's dead, only what lies within it. At night, the wind mimics human screams. Locals say it's the voices of the 9, forever calling for warmth. No wildlife lives near the site anymore. Even insects vanish once you reach the pass. Researchers with radiation gear report faint clicks following them, matching their footsteps perfectly until they leave the area. Some who take soil samples later fall ill, symptoms resembling radiation poisoning but without measurable exposure. No other mountain in Russia bears such silence. It's as if nature itself mourns those who died there. The trees nearest the site grow twisted, leaning inward, as though bowing toward the place of tragedy. One rescue worker later confessed that he saw footprints leading away from the tent, then a 10th set appearing halfway down. Locals tell of a figure in white wandering near the memorial, too tall, too thin, glowing faintly under moonlight. Every few years, a new expedition tries to solve the mystery. They return cold, silent, and unwilling to talk. Satellite imagery once showed heat rising from the pass, a perfect circle, glowing for 3 nights, then gone. Some say the 9 never left. On stormy nights, their campfire reappears, a faint orange flicker high on the ridge. Approach it, and it fades. Step back, and it burns again, calling you closer like a memory refusing to die. Every February, The snow buries the trail again, sealing their story beneath ice until someone dares to remember. The mountain keeps its secrets. No storm, no theory, no investigation has ever silenced the questions. Was it nature, madness, or something older, something that watched from the ridge that night? Each hypothesis collapses under its own weight. The mystery remains like frost, untouched, eternal, unbroken. Hikers who visit sometimes bring 9 candles. By morning, only 8 remain standing. The last always melted flat. Some say the mountain chose them. Others believe they chose the mountain, drawn by something they couldn't name. The snow still hides the truth. Beneath it, maybe their footprints continue walking forever toward something unseen. Every gust of wind that passes there carries whispers, Russian, Mansi, and something that sounds like no human tongue. Decades later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved. Files reopened, theories rewritten, and yet the silence wins again. Perhaps the mountain guards what it saw, an ancient law of the wilderness we were never meant to understand. No other event in history has combined science, fear, and myth so perfectly. It is tragedy wrapped in frost. Some say when you stand there long enough, you feel warmth from below, as if the ground remembers hearts that once beat. The final photo recovered from their camera showed bright orbs in the sky, the last light they ever saw. The Dyatlov Pass remains a riddle in the snow, 9 lost souls frozen in time, still asking us to look up and wonder why.